The Pacific region, with its rich natural resources and diverse ecosystems, has sustained communities for centuries. Fijians have a strong connection to their environment and rely on it for sustenance and cultural practices, enriched with traditional knowledge helping manage resources sustainably and adapt to a changing climate. However, Fiji is now facing climate impacts that threaten their way of life and ecosystems. Nature-based solutions offer hope for adapting to these challenges while preserving their unique heritage. In response to these climate impacts, the Pacific Organic and Ethical Trade Community, POETCom, launched the Mudrenicagi Estate as a Fiji Organic Learning Farm Center. In partnership with the Fiji Ministry for Agriculture, POETCom is implementing the Pacific Organic Learning Farms Network, POLFN Project, with funding from the Kiwa Initiative.
Well, we started with, just 30 chickens because I was tired of buying rotten eggs and poor quality eggs. So we got our first few chickens about 7-8 years ago. And gradually we've been increasing our poultry farm. We now have about 250 chickens. We have coconuts, root crops, lots of different kinds of fruit trees. We have a bee farm, poultry farm. We're going to be transitioning it from just a conventional free-range system supported with conventional feed to a more organic way where we're going to be producing more of the feed on the farm. We're going to be redesigning the whole shelter and the feeding systems. And I'm really excited about that for two reasons. One, healthier eggs, healthier people. But the second reason is the cost of conventional feed is just going up and up, and it's too expensive. So we're looking forward to being able to produce more of the feed for our chickens on the farm.
Also, this model that we are having here for this organic feed is really one that we could share with our communities and communities beyond our borders here at home, because buying feed is really the high cost of this looking after birds. But with what we're doing now with organic feeding, we'll be able to duplicate this system into the community so they can getting some of their cash flow.
Having lived in a very hectic lifestyle overseas, we were really interested in establishing a better retirement lifestyle, healthier lifestyle for us when we moved back. So we made a commitment to farm organically, which for us at the beginning just meant not using any chemical inputs whatsoever. But as we carried on in our journey, and Arthur can attest to this, we really discovered that farming organically is more than just not using chemical inputs. Did you want to comment on that?
This takes me back to the days when my grandmother and grandpa and my dad and them used to farm. Early 60s to the 70s that we used to, there's no pesticide, no nothing. We just weed, and slash and drop.
And so I started looking at what does actually organic mean? What are the sort of organic principles that we need to incorporate into our farm, and what kind of models are there? What kind of methodologies are there out there? And so that led me down a whole path towards permaculture. That started us really developing a framework for our farm that follows sort of the agroecological principles. And it's been really, really helpful. And we also started looking at, well, if I can't use inorganic inputs, then what can we use? We can compost, we can use chicken manure, we can make other fermented inputs. On our farm, we have Arthur and myself, but we also have Arthur's nephew, Charlie, and his wife, Rape, and they're an integral part of our farm. So when we are beekeeping, it's all four of us. Myself and Rayape are the key instructors for beekeeping. So the value of women and what their contribution is in our farm is already a really strong presence. We also work really closely with a local registered women's group to help us with our farm management, particularly with our vanilla. So one of the things that Arthur and I had really aimed to focus on when we returned to Fiji was to support our rural community to a more sustainable, healthy lifestyle. And so we're really fortunate and thankful to the Kiwin Initiative to select us as a Pacific Island organic learning farm. And the initiative that's really focusing on spreading the power of organics through our rural communities. So we're looking forward to the training programs that we're going to be able to host at our farm.